for everybody, and I bet would attract like Patreon people.
Jason is seriously considering it. There's a back set of stuff that Rich has recorded from Gauntlet stuff, and actually a lot of people have asked to put the podcast, the early ones, as YouTube videos, because that's how some people listen to it, not through a pod feed, but through YouTube.
Weird. I've never heard of that before.
Yeah.
I was strange.
I've heard that too. People have asked about DR being on there, and yeah, we're not quite ready to do that yet. And we, it's what my concern is that there'd be a loss in quality because that YouTube's unedited. I mean, I edit the heck out of DR, and other people edit.
Yeah, I was gonna say it's got a good production value.
Yeah, but you could probably just convert the audio up to a video form.
Yeah, that would be an option. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, it wouldn't take long either. And yeah, I think especially with like this game, for instance, right? People are going to be like, man, I wish there was a AP of this. And then suddenly there is on YouTube, and you guys get Patreon backers, right? Maybe. Yeah. So.
All right. So let me give you some preliminary statements here. Since I don't think except for David, I don't think I've run for any of you. Played with Jason and Fraser. So what we're going to do tonight is we're going to pick out our characters. We're going to set a few connections and bonds, and there's a very short starter case that they have, and we're going to play through that with the goal of kind of seeing if we can get that done tonight. And then next week we'll do a full new case, and we'll get all of that set, and we'll kind of play with the rules tonight, get used to it, because it is pretty different from conventional PbtA. So one of the other things I want to say is we do use the X card in this. This is a noir game, so there may be some elements that are darker. Basically, be some stuff. Of course, superheroics sometimes get weird. The X card essentially means that if there's something you're not cool with, just put up the X, and we will edit past it and move on. I've had that a couple of times, and it's easy. Just want you to know that I am cool with that. So I am going to go in the order that people signed up to pick their playbooks off of this. So David, which playbook do you want of the 7?
Where are the documents that I can view?
Okay, I am going to pull up that folder and get that folder link. Let me pull that up. Where's the share? Get shareable link. Copy to clipboard, and okay. So that's the folder, and you should be able to access everything from there.
All right.
Oh, and as a quick note too, I noticed that if you even if you already have this, and then we end up liking it, and you want to back it on Kickstarter, I noticed that if you sign up on their website to get the same thing, they'll give you 20% off the Kickstarter, apparently.
Oh, I didn't notice that. I did sign up for it just because I like superhero stuff. So
yeah, I noticed that today on the homepage. So I was like, all right,
that's pretty cool.
Mm-hmm.
They're playing it smart.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, so I haven't had much of a chance to browse through the playbooks. Okay. What's kind of the 30,000-foot view?
Okay, so the basics of this is that we're doing, there's a city of Mist, and Mist is a weird city, and all of the characters are gateways. Essentially, that's some archetype of the supernatural has invested in them, and they've gained powers. And so kind of you've formed a crew to investigate the weirdness and deal with your own strangeness and changes. So there are 7 archetypes on the board there. There's Salamander, who's a guy with sort of fire-water powers, who's essentially otherwise a sanitation worker. There's Mitosis, who's the big, lumbering, monstrous brute. Makes it hard for him to interact with normal society. Excalibur, a woman with a magic weapon, think Witchblade. Postmortem is, she's an undead assassin. Declan Estrange is a character who's more in touch with his magical powers. There's Flicker, who's a hacker with time powers, and Kitsune, who's kind of a strange, somewhat ninja.
Okay.
So those are the 7 picks that are on the table.
Cool. I'm picking Excalibur.
Okay. All
You can
right.
have any weapon you want, David.
I know, it's a dream come true.
Yep.
I wrote a game that was
Also,
about weapons.
you're
Nice.
Also, you're a rich, mean old lady.
Fine with me.
All right. So you can pull that up. There are a couple of different versions of the playbooks there. There's a printable one that's a JPEG, and then the regular one with all the color frou-frou stuff on it. So I'm going to put that. So, Fraser, what about you?
I really like both the ninja as well as Flicker with the super speed. So is anybody else thinking one of those? And then that would make my choice easier. So then you get what you want as well.
I think we're going to let you have a really difficult choice.
Yeah.
Okay.
Always the best.
I think they're cool characters, but they're cool for different reasons, you know?
Yeah.
Because Kitsune is not human, but is pretending to be, and Flicker enters into a certain amount of millennial moral ambiguity.
Yeah. Okay, I'm going to go with Kitsune because I've never really played a ninja before, so I'll do that.
Okay.
And I will print it now.
All right.
So,
Jason, what would you like?
Victor, are you feeling one thing in particular just before I arbitrarily seize the one I'm looking at?
Go ahead and seize what you're looking at.
Well, I'm looking at Declan Lestrange, but I can play someone else if you really, really are like, he chose the one that was for me.
No, I feel like being the big tough bruiser. So I'm kind of looking
Sweet,
at my
that works out.
Okay.
Nice.
All right, I'll be Declan.
Right. So I did put there, if you have, maybe you've had a chance to look at the Kickstarter, maybe not. The document I have there, City of Mist Basics, which of course I've spelled Mist M-I, which is how they have it. And sometimes it's in the game, it's M-Y is the Mist stuff. So we'll come back to that. This is a game where, and I think Jason and Fraser said it best, it's like Lady Blackbird with PbtA in that you're tagging onto your tags to build up a set of those to give you your bonus, and that's what you're actually going to roll. There are no stats in the game. And
What the?
The sort of point that is between the sort of the turning point, how do I put this, is that you have 2 parts of your life. And one part is the mythos, and that represents all of the supernatural stuff that goes down, all of your powers, all your interactions with that supernatural world, all of that. And then you've got logos, which represents your real world, identity, and so on. And you'll notice that on your different characters, you'll have either 3 and 1 or 2 and 2 of those different types, representing which side you kind of lean to. And if you end up going all one way or another, that has consequences in the long-term game. But just the basics of this is you are in a noir city, the City of Mist. There's all kinds of supernatural strangeness, and you have become tuned into it. You've become a gateway for that. That's given you powers. That's given you perception. One of the things is it operates a little bit like maybe Mage and especially Old Werewolf, that when you do supernatural stuff, sleepers, ordinary people tend not to see it. Your actual fallout, those effects happen, so people can see that, but they tend to forget unless what you do kind of wakes them up. Essentially, then you kind of fate bind them in some ways, and they get awoken. But But of course, there are other supernatural beings and creatures out there that want power, that want things from you. And if you're out there displaying your skills, your talents, then they will become aware of that. And at the base of this, we assume that you are a crew. I'm not going to worry about the crew tags for this session. That's something they have that you can choose a crew theme, and then you get some tags you can use off of that. But we're not going to worry about that for now. So are there any questions before we get rolling here? All right. So let's set up some things. Let's establish amongst the four of you connections. So first I'll have you go and describe how you picture your character. Give us the name and how you're envisioning them. What's your take on them? Fraser, let's actually start with you.
Okay. I don't have a name just yet. I'm looking at Greek names right now, but I'll come up with something like that.
Okay. So you don't want to use Kitsune as your name?
No, I don't think I'll just be like, hey, Kitsune.
Okay. Fair enough. All right.
Yeah.
How do you picture this character then? Tell us about what they can do and how you're imagining them.
I'm picturing them sort of like, whatchamacallit, if Hawkeye used swords instead of arrows, like mundane-ish, and their powers are with like maybe a little bit of mystical stuff, it looks like, with the healing touch thing going on, but I think most of it would rely on like, you know, being a honed body type kind of thing.
Okay.
Because they're like a parkour artist, nimble as a fox, katana, stuff like that, yeah. So it'd be more like relying on your conditioning rather than like superpowers, I think.
Okay. Tell us about your different themes, the four themes and the powers that kind of go with those.
So I'm picking one from each of these things?
No, you get all of those. All of those are your powers, and all of those are tags that you can use. There are some below that have boxes. That would be for advancements. Don't worry about those.
Advancements.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. So it's like, so blessed with good fortune or take away good fortune, healing touch, and then one is I'm basically like, yeah, like all the ninja stuff.
Okay.
Parkour artist, nimble as a fox, makeshift katana. And then the other one is all about subversion is the tag. So it's not letting people know that I'm different than them kind of thing, it looks like.
Okay.
And I guess I'm in high school.
Or you're in high school for a very strange reason. So that gives you your sort of human connection.
Oh yeah, I love a mortal named Kaito. To be closer to him, Kitsune goes to high school every day and pretends to be a student, but rarely ever speaks. I like that. Okay.
Excellent. So if we're not doing sort of the fox image, what are you imagining as the image for your character?
What would be cool? Yeah, not the fox, because that seems like it's always what it is. So I'd like it to be something else, but I'm not sure what it would be. That would be cool. Maybe like I don't know. Maybe I'll
another animal, or
yeah, like another animal that would also fit like this archetype, but maybe not a fox.
Okay, well, I'm going to let you think about that,
Yeah.
and we'll come back to you on it.
I'll do some Googling.
Okay. Jason, tell us about Declan Lestrange. And I'm probably murdering that name there.
Declan Lestrange, yeah. It could be Lestrange, actually, but I hate that sound, so I'm not going to do it.
Okay.
Especially because I feel like he may have originally been from overseas, but he's an American dude now, by God. So the Americanized murdering of his name. So Declan is a couple of things, really. For a long time, he's been what is on the cards as a dubious antiques dealer. By which I mean he goes to other countries often, finds of dubious provenance, and then sells them, hopefully at a high rate of profit. And in terms of what he looks like, I'm kind of thinking a mixture of Brendan Fraser from The Mummy and a younger and happier Sean Connery once upon a time. Although Declan has been around a little bit. He is a bit on the pulpy side.
Okay.
A side effect of having been around and been in all these action adventures, for one thing, he's not as moral as, say, Indiana Jones. He is in this to make money, but also been hanging around a lot of mystical stuff, fairly one, believing in it originally, or two, taking a whole lot in the way of mystical precautions, and it seems to have seeped into his life, where he has now got the power living in a dream. Sometimes things will happen, like he'll open a door and walk through, and all of a sudden he's on a beach. And he goes, "Why am I on a beach?" He warps around him, but he doesn't really have full conscious control of how that happens, and is relatively certain that someone else is doing this to him, as if it's some kind of mystical virus that he picked up in the wrong tomb, or two, something that's a customer or potential customer has done to him.
Awesome. Victor, how are you picturing mitosis?
Well, I think mitosis is one like looking at some of the descriptions on the one sheet there. I kind of like the picture it's kind of forming in my head. Xboxer, I think he has a hard time kind of remembering his life before whatever the accident, this crash into this I mean, it's a truck of volatile stuff. So he for a long time had been a boxer, just scraping by, not always doing the most up and up bouts, just so he could get the money to afford the apartment that he and his wife had. But at this point, all that past, that human past, is just weird, disjointed memories. And mitosis can be kind of found in the big city, in the back streets, in the alleyways, and all the shadows. He doesn't think he could ever face his wife again because of what happened, and doesn't try. I mean, there's lingering thoughts, but no, it's best to shut it away in a big chest in the back of his head. Lock it.
Does she think you're dead?
I think so. I'm pretty sure that's the case, and I could see mitosis maybe kind of checking in on her once in a while, kind of from a distance. The park across the street from the apartment, or the food court area at lunchtime, or whatever from work, that kind of thing. Making sure everything's kind of still normal, still on schedule, still kind of moving along.
So you're sort of, when people see your, we'll call it your mythos form, you look inhuman. What does that look like?
Kind of a big beast amalgamation of like cells kind of doing their own thing. They constantly like changing. You'll see somebody that like flexes their muscles. You can kind of see their muscles flex. Well, that's all involuntary. I mean, there's just shifting and moving. And
Okay. And when sleepers see you and they don't see this horrible monster, what are they seeing?
I'm not sure.
Okay.
I think, I don't know.
Okay, think about that, because that's an interesting question of how they perceive you. I assume it's not going to be they know something's off, but I'll be curious about what you think they notice. I'll come back to you. Excalibur.
Yeah. So I'm picturing Excalibur as it's described as old money and a seasoned negotiator and all of these things. And she's doing different work with charities. So like I'm really imagining like. Are you still there? Oh.
Do we have you freeze up there for a second?
It just like reloaded everybody for me. I don't know.
No.
Huh.
Weird. It does that from time to time.
Yeah, that happens.
I'll switch my bandwidth down to low. All right. So charity work. And you said mover and shaker, and
yeah. So like, I'm imagining she's like, what's that guy, or what's her name? The Kevin Spacey's wife on House of Cards.
Oh, okay.
She's like that.
Okay.
But she day job is doing all of these negotiations and things to further her fundraiser, but like not at nighttime, like she's a vigilante.
What does this ultimate weapon look like? I mean, it says a silver bracelet, but how are you imagining it?
Yeah, so I mean, it says it's a silver bracelet, and then it can transform into anything. So I take that to mean like situationally, I can have it turn into anything that I imagine. That's because that's how it describes it. So
yep.
Commonly, it'll look like a gun or a sword. Things like that, just depending on what the situation calls for. Sometimes it's like an absurdly big gun. Sometimes it's just a pistol. And like,
do they look like actual guns, real guns, or is there anything like a defining characteristic between all of them?
They always look like the metal that the bracelet is made out of. So they're
okay.
Extremely like shiny and obvious if you see them. So I typically don't just run around with it. I wait until the moment is right, and then I grab my bracelet and it transform it.
Awesome.
And then promptly transform it back.
Yes. So Excalibur, Declan. I'm going to ask you how you know Declan.
Okay. Declan
Lestrange, our Indiana Jones.
Lestrange. Oh. Do I know about his powers, do you think?
Well, you've worked together as a crew, so yes.
Worked together as a crew. I think like we ran into each other. We had a run-in. Like I was trying to get something done for justice, and he was trying to get something done so he could make money. And it was like our interests were aligned enough to like get us to work together, but we just kind of bumped into each other on the job. And I had a gigantic silver sniper rifle with a scope and a suppressor, and I'm like a 40-year-old woman, and he just like crawled out of a, I don't know, what weird way do you think that you got there that let me know that you had this power?
That I had the reality bending power?
Yeah. How did you get there to this, where we're at, so that I know, like, beyond a shadow of a doubt, you've got an ability to?
There are a number of ways that could have happened. The easiest way is like you had just looked in a room or something. It was end of the room anyway, or walk through a mirror, or honestly think of any Doctor Strange or Fantasia or mental mind trip stuff you've ever seen.
Yeah, so you just come like crawling out of like a recycling bin or something. Like you just come out of there, and I'm like, like, there's no way. But that's how we know each other. That was our moment of meeting.
I like that. Kitsune, who is, we're naming you Gwendolyn?
Yeah, Gwendolyn.
Okay.
And I don't, I'm still not sure about the animal thing, but I like that she has horns. Yeah, honey badger. Honey badger don't care. Yeah, I don't know. Every time I like Google anything that has to do with like animals similar to fox, they're just like, how about this different kind of fox? Yeah, so I don't know. But I was thinking it'd be neat if it was not a fox, but she still just had these things going on.
Well, you know, you've mentioned Greek before, kind of mythos. I mean, what about like the sort of classic comedy or tragedy mask?
Oh yeah, that'd be cool. Sure.
Yeah, you can like situationally change it.
Yeah, it changes depending on your mood.
That'd be awesome. Sure, yeah, let's do that.
Okay. And Gwendolyn, you have worked and interacted with Excalibur before. What happened then?
Like on a mission, you mean?
I'm asking you. You tell me.
Well, maybe I like the idea of maybe like since I'm in high school and I'm young and stuff, I tried to do like a job by myself, but then she like saved my ass because I'm like I was in too deep kind of thing.
What went wrong?
Maybe I was trying to do my induce hypnotic trance stuff on them, and then another guy like came in the room and started like, you know, shooting me or something like that. And then that was like the tight spot that I was in. And maybe, I don't know what kind of weapon Excalibur would have, but then maybe for some reason she intervened.
What was the weapon that he saw you first with, Excalibur?
Yeah. So I think that like I think I was sitting in the room as well. Like it was like a shady negotiation thing, and it was like I was only there because I was going to like get justice on these guys, and then you came in and you're like mind bending them, and then like another one came out from out of the room and like pulled out his gun, and right when he pulls out his gun, you like the camera just like pans back to this, you know, nice uppity lady who was sitting like this, and it flashes back and she's got like a Tommy gun, a giant silver Tommy gun. She just lays into him.
Awesome. All right. Declan, you know Mitosis. You've interacted with him, worked with him, had an encounter with him. Tell us about how that came about.
So I actually think that I knew Mitosis before the transformation.
Ooh, nice.
Because occasionally when you're going in the seamy side of the road, you need a heavy. And the thing about Declan is that, amongst other things, he does know who he can trust. So he knew that Mitosis, the boxer, back in those days, was a person that may look in a second, but was in fact fairly reliable. So I would bring him along on those kind of jobs early in his career before he got famous and big. And now that he's been brought low again, he's back down here in the streets with me, and I'm a little worried about him.
Are you cool with that, Mitosis?
Definitely. Yeah, I think after the accident, I'm kind of very distraught over the whole situation, and can have bouts of despondentness, and I think Declan kind of pulls me out of that.
Also, if you're looking for a magical cure, Declan is the person you'd have to go to.
Yeah.
And
got to give me a purpose to come out and do something now.
Mitosis, you've interacted with Gwendolyn. What happened there? What was that like? How did you meet, or when did you work together?
I think we probably met relatively recently. I would think it's really recent that we met. I think it was one of those kind of I would say Declan and I were finishing something up and working our way back to where we'd get paid and that kind of thing. And I was about ready to part ways, and we left. And then around a corner, Gwendolyn comes flying, and we just kind of run into each other. What do you think you could have been doing that? I'm thinking some kind of trouble, and I did one of those. I didn't see which way she went situations.
Maybe the cops came to that warehouse after, like, it's the same night with Excalibur.
Yeah.
She, like, wasted them all, and it was, like, one of those scenes where I, like, blinked and she was, like, gone kind of thing, and then I had to book it when the cops came, and I sort of, like, was jumping around and doing parkour and all that kind of stuff, but that's when I...
got a little too close to the cops, and...
Yeah, I think it was, like, the first time she went and tried to, like, fight crime, and such is how it went.
Cool. Nice.
Awesome.
Yeah, I have one thing I want to add. I think that I don't have a name that I like, like that is tagged with me as like a vigilante. Like in the media, I'm the Silver Slug Slayer, because there's all these random murders where these people die and they have these untraceable silver bullets that have killed them.
Silver Slug Slayer.
Oh, Slug Slayer. Awesome. So I was going to hold off on this, but I think we'll probably need to decide this now. The book gives 4 possible crew themes, 4 possible reasons why you guys are together. And let me go quickly through those, and you can decide what you think is the best. So the first one are the pros. Perhaps one of you has hired your group as a professional team to carry out unsavory tasks. That's one possibility. Another crew version is masked vigilante investigations. You all agree on one thing: the wrongs you've seen cannot be allowed to continue. Third one is dabblers in the mist. One thing unites you, the mystery of your own existence and looking at the supernatural. And then the last one is conspiracy busters, where there's something going on in the city and you want to get to the root of it. What do you think?
Well, for mine it says, I'm here to help anyone who has suffered from misfortune. So for me, that'd be leaning more towards like I can't. The second one, I think it was.
So you think we're kind of like the do-gooders, like trying to figure out how to be the do-gooder characters?
Maybe.
Or like just the fact that we're cleaning it up our way. Like it might not
is everyone interested in justice? Because I'm interested in justice, and I can bankroll us if we want to do option number 1. But I'm down for option number 2 as well.
What's option number 1 again?
The pros, where you essentially someone has hired you to carry an unsavory task. In this case, hired you in the pursuit of justice.
Oh, okay, sure.
Does that work for you, Declan, or what are you leaning towards?
Declan's interested in finding out more about mysteries, in part because he doesn't understand what the hell is up with himself. So the other two, Dabblers in the Mist and Conspiracy Busters, are more in his vein. Because I can't really see him, like, he is interested in money, but
right.
the eyes on the prize approach is not actually feed into a lot of his other drives. He's not going to find out more, and
I'm in for a conspiracy bust if you have, but that would really depend on like Lowell coming up with a decent conspiracy, or us collectively coming up with a decent conspiracy that we're trying to unravel.
Yeah, I think that's the one that I kind of lean toward a little bit. I mean, I ran into a truck of volatile biochemical agent. Where was that coming from, and where was it going? I mean, there's I think my characters kind of either I got to do right by the people that were in my life before this, or I really want to find out why this happened, and that shouldn't have been there in the first place.
Okay, I'm down for that, and I think I can hook Gwendolyn in if like I'm like mentor protege relationship with her after this incident. Like I track her down and I'm like, you need some training.
Yeah. Like maybe I'm chilling in class or something, and I think I'm like completely got away or whatever, and I just get like a text, and they were like, "You are so shitty at this."
All right, that works for me. There are some power tags. We'll come back to those, and we'll put those on the table for next time. I'm not going to worry about that right this second. But so I'm going to start. City of Mist, and you have been looking into things. Mitosis, you are convinced that what happened to you wasn't an accident. And for you, Excalibur, hints you've had that people have been doing this, that people have been working to actively create gateways or cause incidents that bring gateways about. And all of you have met a few other gateways, and you have essentially, imagine an oracular contact, someone that you go to that has information, and she trades goods and money with you to get those details. She's called the Valkyrie, and essentially you have to go see her at a roller rink after it closes. You'll find her skating around there. She's blind, but here's what she's told you. She's told you that there is something connected to this whole web of people creating gateways, and that right now, tonight, there is someone smuggling in people and unwilling people, and it's connected to that somehow. And she has a doc number for you, and she's given it to you, and we would cut from that sort of teaser bit to you guys on the docks, City of Mist. It is foggy, as it always is in these kinds of things. It's dark. This is pallets are stacked. The various long boxes are around. And in the distance, you can see that there's a freighter that's come in and a warehouse, and there seems to be activity going on there. Like there are clearly guards outside and some kind of activity going on inside. and that's where we take up. Does that seem reasonable? So, what's anybody doing?
I am telling Gwendolyn to stop fidgeting in her new outfit that just got tailor-made in my like secret, back alley friends, but I paid him thousands of dollars to make these fantastic suit for her. And darling, you have to look the part if you're going to do this correctly.
Does it have to be so form-fitting? And she like goes like that. Feel like I'm on display.
Well, you're going to be a ninja, aren't you? So no one should see you. But if they do see you, they're going to know you're a ninja.
Fair enough. I
think the important thing about being a ninja is being silent.
She just like puts up her head.
Matters less than the observation. Look at what you see. Draw your conclusions. It was actually look at things and investigate, because there's a move for it.
Okay.
And by golly, that's what I'll do.
So let's go to that. We're going to look. We're getting a little clipping from you, Jason, and I think you froze. This always happens before somebody acts.
Oh no, he's back.
We caught you up.
Okay.
So let's look at your sheet and tell me, what are the tags that you have, of the power tags on your sheet, that you think make you able to investigate? And how are you investigating? Are you watching? Are you moving around? Describe that to me.
What Declan is trying to do is actually do what he was talking about, and just observe and use the kind of conclusions that he's got from a lifetime hanging out in dark spots and watching smuggling or participating in smuggling. So he's got the benefit of experience on his side for this.
Okay. So
go ahead.
Any other tags? Smuggling is an obvious tag there. That's cool.
He also has the benefit, though he'd be loath to admit it, of having something of a sense of what's about to happen, because he also has premonitions.
Oh, okay.
Can I help him with blessed with good fortune?
Sure. So that's you changing the game. Okay, that's our help. So we'll put his investigate on pause for a second while we go to your help. Tell us about how you generate good fortune.
I think that, well, it says I'm a messenger from another world, so maybe I speak in that language when I need power from them, and then they sort of like send it to me in spits and starts kind of thing, like, i.e. if I roll a miss or or if I roll a 10. So it works sometimes and others not, but it's just sort of like I envision it sort of like a prayer. So
Okay.
She's just like standing on the dock and she's got her hood up, and I'm picturing it like Spider-Gwen kind of hood thing. So she's like an angsty teenager with the mask, and right now it's probably sad because people are mean. And she still finds the will to whisper like a little good fortune prayer to the jerks.
Awesome. So it sounds to me like we've got one tag there, and that's your blessed with good fortune one.
Mm-hmm.
So that'll be your power. We've got one tag, so your power 1. So you're going to roll 2d6 plus that to change the game.
Okay.
Is there a cap on the plus that you can get?
They say optionally 3, but according to the rules, no, there's no thing. However, the GM can put weaknesses tags on that to reduce it to cause problems. So,
so with a +1, that is 9.
that's a 9. So when we look at the change the game move, and again, this first session we're going to be stopping and looking at those moves a little bit more. You're going to get juice equal to power, so you're going to get 1 juice, which is essentially 1 hold.
Got that juice.
You can do one of these things here. And they say scale up the effect, hide the effect, improvement. I would say in this case, you want to give him a +1, right?
Yeah, I think that would be the best, yeah.
Okay. So then we're going to swing back to Declan. And Declan, you are checking things out. I think we established you had 2 power, right?
Yeah, we did the smuggling and the premonitions. Unless you think for some reason a good judge of character would matter, I think that's it.
No, I think not. But I think those 2 are the perfect ones there. So let's have you make that roll with 2 power +1 from your partner Gwendolyn.
So my understanding of the rules here is that I could also tag a weakness in order to get basically what counts as an experience for a power. Is that true?
That is exactly it. Tell me how you think maybe your black market heat might come into play here.
That is exactly the one that I was talking about. Because I think black market heat could come into play if I recognize a person and they don't like me to the degree that they wish me great physical harm because I stole something from them, which they had gotten illegally, but then I got it from them, and then I sold it and made the money. So they're not real happy with Declan Lestrange.
All right. So the boat captain, that's delivering the stuff is a guy named Carver Horgus, and he wants to slit your throat and drop you in the water, preferably still alive, feed you to the fishes. So that will give you a -1. So you have just a total of +2, and you get to mark an attention, which is an experience point, on your dubious antiques dealer.
Is done. All right.
Okay.
So I will roll 2 dice,
Mm-hmm.
and I will get a 13.
Whoa. Okay. So you've got then the power was 2, so you get well, technically, yeah, -1. I think we read it as 2. We'll read the power as 2 on that. And you've got questions that you can ask about the subject. And again, you can ask those now, or it's a hold. You can ask them later. So do you want to ask a question here?
Okay, so I uncover as many clues as I had power, so I got 2 clues.
Mm-hmm.
All right. So we know from our connection that there's something going on that connects all the powers here, right?
Said there's some kind of human smuggling that ties into the web of things.
Okay. Man, I'm so used to my apocalypse world having the whole world of questions.
I know.
It's a heady power.
This is how I run my discover action at the table, and players go, "Oh God,
what have you done?" I think what I'm going to ask is to say the greatest threat to us right now.
What's the greatest threat? Well, it looks to you like the captain and his guys are going to withdraw. And there are 2 essentially groups of thugs plus a boss here. So they are armed. I mean, they certainly have weapons. And you would say that they're the biggest threat. It doesn't seem to you like there's any other gateway on the scene. You don't get that feeling of oddness, and you kind of counted, okay, we've got 6 guys outside, we've got 6 guys inside, we've got those 2 crews. They're about equivalent. It looks like the inside crew is probably a boss man in there with that. Do you want to ask another question, or do you want to hold that?
I think I want to hold it because nothing's honestly springing to mind right now.
Okay.
Pass on the numbers to everyone else.
Okay. Mitosis or Excalibur, what do you want to be doing?
So I kind of lean over to Declan. So Is it? And I got the fist in the hand here. So is it attention time? Kind of going for the
Yep.
hey. Are we ready to move? I see, and I'm kind of like checking them out to see where they're all at. So if I hit him, and then I hit him, and then I hit him, we're in.
I think Declan actually doesn't double check with other people because he's a take charge kind of guy, and he goes, "Yeah, they're a bunch of mooks. Let's take them."
Yeah, I can see mitosis just doing the yeah. Let's get moving here. I'm antsy. I wanna do something, and
Okay,
I can't
so
sit still.
you're moving in on this group outside, and you're going to hit him with all you got.
Yep, I'm
Okay.
going out there and gonna grab one of them and introduce them to each other real hard.
Awesome. So tell me about what you're tagging from your power tags.
Okay, I would probably think that I could lean on my boxing,
Okay.
hit him.
Absolutely.
I would think I could probably lean on huge.
Yep.
And since it's going in for the fighting and everything, mean right hook would definitely come in handy.
Okay. So that's 3 tags.
Mhm.
I'm going to tag your exposed after that right hook.
Yep.
Weakness tag there. Take that down by 1.
Cool.
Anything else you want to throw in on that?
You got filled with rage.
Yeah, I got filled with rage. Yeah, I could do filled with rage, or I could do gambling. I bet I can take them. I think I know the odds here.
Okay. So let's take it to a 3 power there.
Okay.
Let's have you roll.
Okay. Well, that didn't turn out too well. So 3. Oh yeah, 7.
7. Okay.
So I'm good.
So you do go in there and smash them. Tell me what that looks like as you go into this group of guys outside.
Okay, so mitosis comes out from between, because we're hiding in like all the stuff that's like stacked up on the edge of the docks here. So comes out from between a couple cargo containers, and just the sight of him coming out kind of looms over the cargo containers. And he comes out and lumbers forward, grins a good bit, and then just jumps on the first guy, sends him into the second guy. Just kind of mayhem. I'm going to take y'all on all at once.
So you get to pick one of those options from the hit it with all your you got list. You can essentially take cover or secure a superior position so you don't take damage back. You get more of them. There's no collateral damage, or there's loads of collateral damage, or you hold the target's attention.
I like to get them good.
Okay.
Get many of them. Yes, that's the one I'm looking at.
Awesome. So that will go from a power 3 status to a power 4 pummeling status. Okay. And that will take out all of these guys. However, you are in the middle of them, and they will get they swing with guns. Are too close to fight you, but some of them crowbars and things like that. And so you will take a status of injured at 2.
Okay.
Okay, and you'll mark that down. Essentially, they've beaten into you, smashed you, but they are everywhere. These 6 are down outside. Let's come back to Excalibur as this explosion of violence occurs.
Yeah, so I was just kind of hanging back and gonna pick off anyone that he missed, but it sounds like he got him. So,
oh yeah, the ones outside, yeah, they're down.
Yeah, I'll is there any it's like a dock or something, like a big opening that we can if we're careful, we can look from a distance and kind of see what's going on in there?
Do you want to kind of try and move over so you can spot what's going on to get say the situation then?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, you can move over. It looks like the people that were on the boat that were getting ready to leave now, because this explosion of violence have occurred, they are grabbing, essentially the pole hooks and all of that sort of gear to come down onto the docks. It looks like inside of this warehouse, there are the six guys that are hearing craziness outside. They're getting their, they're cocking guns. You can see they've got some submachine guns, and it looks like there's a leader type, pointing for them to go and deal with whatever's going on outside.
Okay. Yeah, I look at Gwendolyn and I'm like, well, dear, if you can take care of the boat, I'll try and take care of those savages in the warehouse. And I grab my bracelet, and it turns into that same sniper rifle, but it's not suppressed this time. I don't care about being quiet here.
Okay. So are you going to open up on them then?
That's my plan.
Okay, let's have you do that then, and then we will see how Gwendolyn is handling her side of the equation.
All right, so let's do our analysis here. I think that my weapon is obviously coming into play.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know if much else is coming into play there.
Yeah. Well, let's look and see, because it's the first time we're playing with this. It is one of the things is that the game kind of sets that. Do you want your tough as nails to be about social stuff, or physical in the moment thing? That'd be the only other thing.
I think it's about physical in the moment things, but I mean, I'm shooting them from a distance. You don't have to be tough as nails to do that, unless they're shooting back, I guess.
They are, of course, they are shooting back.
Okay, yeah, tough as nails counts. Yeah.
Okay, so let's say power 2 on that, and now we kind of know how that tough as a nail thing works. So you're going to roll the hit it with all you got with the power of 2.
Sweet. So I got 12.
Awesome. So you're going to do essentially pummel them, so they have a status pummel 2, and you're going to get to pick 2 things off this hit it with all you got list, and there's some additional options because you rolled more than a 10.
I take cover so they can't hit me back, and I hold their attention.
All right. So you lay in, how big is this sniper rifle?
Yeah, so it's a giant silver sniper rifle, and I'm laying down on the rooftop a little ways off wherever we were observing them from. I don't know if we're on a rooftop, but we were now. And this is one of those, Barrett 50 caliber sniper rifles that weighs 15 to 20 pounds by itself, and each bullet weighs another pound. So it's just massive and loud. User recommendations on these things is you put earplugs into your ears, and then you put earmuffs over your ears whenever you shoot this thing. So it's got a giant flame ball that comes out of the tip because it's got a muzzle brake to help compensate for the massive recoil. And that just means the flash is even more visible, and it's so loud.
And it boom, and the first guy, is down. I mean, there's a spray. The second guy, and they can see the muzzle flash, and you get about half of them, and the other half, they let loose with their submachine guns, and they are lighting up the area you're at, but you're behind cover enough that they don't tear into you with that. Kitsune, all of this has exploded. There's people flying over by the warehouse, and now there's gunfire going in, and Excalibur has told you to take care of this gang on the boat. What do you want to do?
So I'm picturing, since it's the docks, there's all these cranes lined up and stuff. So I think as we get that scene of Excalibur doing the exchange, the camera pans around to Excalibur's face, and behind her where I was standing, I'm just no longer there anymore. And then I'm running up and doing my parkour between the cranes, like jumping back and forth like a ninja up. And as I'm getting that height, I kick off from the top of the crane in a backwards motion so that I'm like spiraling. And the goal is to come down in the center of these guys and use my katana to like sweep them and take them out.
All right. So let's talk tags here.
So parkour artist,
Perfect.
nibble as a fox, and makeshift katana, probably.
Okay. Is that a pretty big drop down?
Probably.
So do you want me to hit fragile there?
Sure.
Okay. So that'll be a weakness tag. It'll give you an attention, and it'll reduce your bonus to essentially a +2.
Okay. And then what about, could I do illusionary appearance, and I change my appearance on the way down to look like an avenging angel with like wings and shit?
Perfect. Take it up to a 3.
Sweet.
Let's see.
7, 10.
10. Okay. So that's a power 3 that you're doing to these guys of slashing. And you've got some picks there.
Let's see. Where's my sheet? I don't think I have it open anymore. Oh, there we go. Starter moves. I must have like closed that window that I opened. Oh. So it's just back in the Google Drive, I guess, right?
Yeah, I've got the City of Mist.
Oh,
graph.
there we go.
Yeah.
That's what it is. So I'm doing.
Hit it with all you got.
Okay. When you clear shine, use your abilities. Roll +power on a hit. You inflicting a status upon your enemies. Choose 2. So you get them good.
Okay. That's +1 tier, so it goes to a power 4.
And and I can choose from the other ones because I got a 10+, right?
Yes. I will tell you that 4 is going to take them out.
Okay. Maybe some sort of moving them thing so that they're not like dead.
Okay. So essentially you want to have sort of it that they are stunned rather than chopping them into pieces? Is that what you want?
I don't want to kill them yet.
Okay. So you'll be able to do that. Describe to me how you do the KOing with your blade there.
I think it goes into like a Kenshin thing with the sword where the camera pans and I like reverse the blade and then I am like hitting them and we see like the camera zoom in and it's the blunt edge instead of the sharp edge and they're like, they're getting broken and stuff like that, but not killed.
Awesome. And you will do that. You are swirling through them, avenging angel. And you will feel, though, one of them has one of those boat hooks, and they do plant it in your shoulder as you're coming through. And you're going to take an injured 2 tag as the last one goes down, and you'll feel that hook kind of hanging out of the meat of your shoulder.
And, like, all I can think about is Excalibur going to be so pissed at me because it's like a $10,000 outfit.
Oh, yeah. Blood is all in it now. Lestrange.
Hey.
Let's come back to you. This gunfire and people flying, and you've sent your buddy on in. What are you doing now?
All right, so that we're clear here, the various mooks have been pretty much cleaned up.
Yes, the ones inside, half of them are down, but they're still in there, and they're still seriously dangerous.
But the thing that we were trying to get is on the boat or in the warehouse.
You're not sure.
I will spend my other clue to find out.
That's good. So it looks like they've already unloaded one of those essentially train cars. God, I can't remember what the name of they call those. The box cars. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Well, it's a basic term, and I've forgotten it. So,
Yeah, me too.
but essentially, it has that Hangyang thing on the side. They've unloaded that, and they've gotten it into the warehouse already. So it is in the warehouse.
All right. So I'm advancing into the warehouse.
Okay. Trying to sneak, or you're trying to do damage.
Yeah, shipping container.
I'm not really trying to be subtle at this point. I'm moving towards the goal, but if there's people there, then they're going to feel the might of Lestrange's gun.
Okay. So we have a choice here. You can either try and get past them to get to the shipping container, or you can engage them. What do you think is more Lestrange's move at this point?
He's big on the danger. I can't let danger daunt me on my search for the truth, says the sheet. So he comes in with his pistol. It's a customized pistol that actually shoots adhesive bullets, foam adhesive bullets. And basically he's just walking through. He barely even looks at people, but he points the gun, shoots it, spins it around, goes the other way, and the various mooks are just getting adhered to whatever surface they're close to.
Awesome. Let's have you go ahead and tell me. So that looks like the 3 tags from your gunslinger, right?
Yep.
Okay. Anything else we add on to that would fit?
I could also add on subconscious reaction speed.
That's pretty good.
But it brings me up to a +4 on it, so
why not?
I'm happy to do it.
We're playing with the system. Let's have you roll.
Yep.
Because you could still roll a 2.
But I didn't. I got, with the +4, it actually makes it a 10.
10. All right. So, power 4, what are your 2 picks?
Boo, boo, boo. I'm looking at the effects of juice real quick to see because we haven't used it yet.
Sure. Juice is essentially +1 forward hold.
Yeah. But the descriptions of what you can do with the juice are under change the game.
Yep, kind of some neat options.
Which has a lot of neat options. However, not particularly ones that I want to do. I take a superior position so they can't hit me back, and there's no collateral damage, because at this point that actually matters, because it's the thing I want.
Perfect. So there's the floor is slick with the blood from the sniper shots, and you come rolling in, and the last of them, including the boss guy, just get thrown back by these adhesive bullets and stuck to the wall there, and essentially they are no longer a threat. They are trying to get off from there. They can't get to their guns. They are.
The boss guy is not the captain from the boat, right?
No. The captain from the boat looks like he got the heck knocked out of him by your ninja friend.
It's too bad. I was hoping for him to go Lestrange right before he got knocked out.
Maybe he saw you and they just but then the blade came right down on his head.
All right.
So the bad guys are dealt with, except for the groaning and maybe the pumping of blood from a few of these people, blood spray from there. So what do you guys want to do?
So we've got a big shipping container that they were dropping off.
Mm-hmm.
I assume it's locked. I assume it's closed.
Oh yeah.
I'm pulling the end of it open.
Okay. There'll be that bit says the metal.
Peel the tin can open. Yep.
Yeah. Yep. You pull it open and light will come in, and you will see that it's like a group of about 12 men and women, mixed ethnicities. They all look like they're teens, and they've clearly been trapped in here. And when they see you, they do freak out because all they've heard gunfire. I mean, booming gunfire. That gunfire shook this container.
Huge monstrous thing with these rippling muscles pulls the end of the thing open, the container open.
Yeah, all they see is a big brute of a guy doing that, and they will scream and fall back to the back of the container.
And I do that. I move out of the way so Lestrange can just kind of do his impressive stance in the opening.
Okay.
I'm going to start talking, but I also don't want to take away from Gwendolyn and Excalibur.
Okay,
but
so
Lestrange will take authority of it.
Okay.
Yeah, I think when you step out of the way, like all three of us are standing there impressively.
There we go. Yep, absolutely.
And Gwendolyn, what's your move here? Where do you go? How do you appear now?
Maybe I just like land at the top of the shipping container, like nimbly, not making like a noise, and just sort of like peer down with my like head going down there, kind of thing. And and the mask is like a happy face now instead, even though she's like.
Yeah, and I'm standing with that giant like 9-foot rifle kind of stuck on the ground, and I'm holding it like it's a pole arm, and I'm standing next to Lestrange. I'm like, Gwendolyn, dear, looks like you've ruined your new outfit.
Sometimes you gotta mix it up a little.
Well, it's a good sport. Good sport. We'll get it sorted out. Good work with those boys. Don't know why you left them alive, though, the villainous scum.
Killing is not what I'm here for. We've been through this before.
Right. Well, Lestrange, what do we make of these folks?
That is a fair question. So right now we have just a bunch of teenagers of indeterminate backgrounds.
Yeah, it looks to you. I mean, a quick sort of talk to them, and there's various stories about having taken adverts in foreign countries for jobs and getting essentially caught up in human trafficking, and then these 12 got pulled out of whatever crime pool and put on this and sent here.
I pat Mitosis on the arm after he's like peeled it open. He's like gigantic, and I it's kind of like demeaning the way that I do it. I'm like, well done. You pulled the door right off.
Yeah, that was the goal.
I'm thinking
kind of doing that very matter of fact, like that was intentional.
I'm thinking I could induce a hypnotic trance and make a suggestion, sort of like Men in Black style, like, where it's like the Flash, and I just like program them as to what actually happened so they don't have like PTSD for the rest of their lives or something.
Okay.
Maybe you get some information from them first.
yeah, after, obviously, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. We'll talk to them first and everything, but that's what I want to do after.
Okay, that seems like a cool thing. So what else are we doing here?
I'll try to first. I'm going to try and calm them down and get information from them because we're trying to figure out how they connect into the gateways.
Okay.
So there you go.
Let's have you make.
So Declan's like,
"Yep,
it's all right. We've taken care of the people who would have harmed you, sold you, every devious and despicable thing that you imagined in your time here. We have stopped that."
You only panicked them a little on that. Good. All right.
I'm trying to actually push harder about how awesome we are, so that they'll give us more stuff.
And how nasty they would have been. Yeah.
Yeah.
It would have been. They're like,
Like, yes,
We're
yes,
going to be getting
Declan.
you out of here. Just
Yes,
as soon as
Declan.
we
I
can.
think the nice people know they could have been sold into a human trafficking kind of situation.
It's terrible.
You know, and they've come out and they've seen the bodies on the floor and, you know, the damage here. So, you know, they're panicking about that. So this looks like a kind of human communication investigation. So what's your kind of talking to part here?
Are you asking for how I'm trying to approachingly, or
What tags are we hitting here for this?
what tags am I using?
Yeah,
I am using my rugged authority powers because I've been around, so I am rugged and authoritative.
okay.
And I am using that to try and push the fact that I'm in charge and they should just tell me what I want to know and everything will be okay.
Absolutely. And the situation is that you're the rescuer. So one of the things the game does is the GM can throw in a bonus status. So let's say that's another +1. So let's roll and let's see how many questions you can get out of them.
All right. So I'm going to roll 2d6 + 3, yeah?
Mm-hmm.
There's a little hiccup, so.
Nope. Sorry.
It's all right. I'm going to roll it. Here we go.
Okay.
So I got 2 3s, and then I got 3 more, so it's 9, which is not as good as I might like, but it's decent.
So,
Can I retroactively try and aid him so we might could get to 10?
yeah, that seems. I mean, we don't have a definition on how and when the change the game works. I'm not sure whether we can do that, but we've seen that in other PbtAs. So let's have you tell me how you are assisting him with that.
Yeah, so as we've described, he was like trying to say how much awesome stuff we were doing and how dangerous the situation was. And I kind of narrated in being the bullshit detector and kind of calling that out. So I think that's my one tag that's hitting this. Another is my disguise, because I'm someone these people might know, but since I'm wearing a disguise, like, they don't know it, and they might respect the authority of like this crazy, nicely dressed, like, mass vigilante more than someone else. So that's how I'm changing the game.
That sounds good. Let's have you roll with the +2.
All right. Do I get the additional +1 for being heroic or whatever that he got? Or is that a
No, because I
one-time
think
thing?
that was for his directed thing there.
Cool. I got a 11, so you get your plus.
So you get two juice, essentially two juice you can
juice.
spend.
Yeah.
All the juices.
I got all the juice.
You got orange juice, you got mango juice, you got apple juice.
Right. So so I'm hanging on to 1, but what's the other? Where is it? I know there's one that gives you +1, right?
I think that's just any other improvement you and the MC
Any
agree
other
on.
Yeah. Do you agree that this would help him in convincing
Yeah.
these people to talk? Yeah.
Absolutely.
So, and then I'll hold my other juice.
Okay. So let's say then, Lestrange, you're going to get 2 questions out of this, 2 pieces of information you can draw from them out of this, and it's going to be pretty clear. You don't have to worry about, I mean, they're going to have some picture of what's going on. So what's your first question?
So I think that what we need here is a face. So I'm trying to find out from them what deviant put you in this situation. I know that there's someone behind everything pulling the strings. Point us at them.
So bits and pieces, the crime network that they were wrapped up in, that they were taking them, they had the sense that they were being given over to someone else, but that the person who was giving them, they heard a name, and that name was Cabal.
All right.
Nefarious AF.
Yeah. And that's what they can tell you about that. And Cabal is a name you've heard before. It's kind of essentially a kingpin style, almost mythic gateway figure.
Okay.
Essentially the Moriarty at the top of things kind of stuff.
And we get a second question, right?
That you do.
So I think what I want to know is, aside from, just the benefit of human trafficking, if there's something special about them that made them of value for this exchange.
So,
yeah.
Yeah. So interestingly, you will note that they are all definitely in their teens, a similar age, like high school age. They almost look a little bit like Gwendolyn in terms of size and height. You will notice that they're all relatively healthy, and that seems to be a big thing. And they seem to have been chosen for a particular age and good health. They've been taken care of. You've probably seen other human trafficking, given your background with smuggling. They did a good job of having facilities, sanitation, food for these people on the trip.
So it also kind of looks like they were their victims were are educated, well, nice home, that kind of people.
Yeah, at least people who
not like they were street people.
Exactly. They chose the people who looked decent and had a good bill of health, is your sense.
Yeah.
Does that seem like a reasonable answer?
Yeah, it sounds to me like if you were going to do an experiment, it gives you a baseline. Yes.
Well, while Excalibur and Lestrange are working with these people, talking with them, what are you doing, Gwendolyn, Mitosis? You've got some unconscious people, some glued up people, got the boss guy here. What do you want to do?
I think we should probably have a look through the boat, kind of get an idea of where they were coming from, where they're headed next, that kind of thing. See if there's like shipping manifests, that kind of stuff.
So you want to head over and check that out?
Yeah, rummage through the ship there a little bit for any kind of info that kind of points at like patterns of some of this stuff.
So what I'm going to say, because that's a little bit off from the sort of the gist of the investigation, but you will find a set of manifests and documents and things like that you think maybe later you might be able to put some bits and pieces together with this big conspiracy. So let's say that's a resource for later on. Does that seem reasonable?
Evidence for use later, maybe.
Yeah, you can say, hey, I've got this, and we'll call on it as a status.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you, Gwendolyn?
Let's see. I'm looking at the moves to see what would be actionable. Maybe look beyond the mist, and I'm like picturing like maybe in a sort of detective-y looking thing where the mist is like I want to see if there's anything misty about these kids, like maybe they're good subjects for the mist to go into them and become like us or stuff like that, maybe.
That's an interesting question. I'm going to kind of flat answer that so you don't have to necessarily make a roll. They themselves don't seem to be gateway. You don't see that kind of burning core that you've seen in others that is that kind of Promethean spark in them. You've met some people that it wouldn't take much to push them that way. But that doesn't necessarily seem to be the case here. And the boss guy who's up there, he doesn't even have kind of the whiff of having been interacting with thing. And his name is, I had it here just a second ago, Stanislaw
DeVille. So maybe what I'm doing then is like making sure all the bad guys are secure with like zip ties, and then once we're like all kind of ready, then I want to call the authorities so that they know to come get them.
So you zip tie the guys in the boat. You zip tie the guys outside, drag them in, line
People
them
that
up.
aren't dead anyway. Yeah.
Yeah,
Right.
we probably don't want to hang too long because the authorities are probably on their way after that gunshot.
Might be some noise that way.
Yeah.
So
I
two
think
questions
that
about
big
that.
sniper shot probably called a little more attention than we.
It is, however, the docks in a dark city. So the cops are going, oh, who wants to go? I'm not going. There's that argument going on right now. That sounded like a big gun. Let's give it 20 minutes. So two questions for you, Gwendolyn, then. What are you doing with the dead bodies? And what are you doing with the stuck people?
The stuck people?
Yes, the people. There are a set of these mooks that are glued to the wall, as well as the boss guy.
Oh, right. Okay. What are my tags? Maybe.
You can just tell them what you're doing.
Maybe I'm doing the induce in a hypnotic trance, and with the suggestion of them telling me all that they know.
Oh, okay.
About this stuff. Especially the head of the honcho guy.
All right. So we're going to move to an investigate move from you. Essentially, you get this Stanislaw guy. You're going to try and pull information out from him. So what are the power tags we're going to be hitting with that?
I'm going to try to do an illusionary appearance of like a big imposing male figure instead of my little figure, and I want to induce him in a trance first.
Okay.
And then make a hypnotic suggestion of telling me what he knows. So maybe the illusionary thing works in the same way that like he's gonna picture whatever he thinks is like his boss or whatever, so he's like talking with his boss, or that's what he thinks is happening.
Sure.
Instead of a little, high school girl.
Let's have you roll with that power.
8 plus 3 is 11.
Okay. So what is your first question to this guy? And you look hulking, and I'm assuming mitosis comes back walking through, and he looks hulking. But he's also seeing the boss guy. He knows he's screwed up. You've got that suggestion in his head. He's trying to find a way out of this. What's your first question?
Yeah, like maybe where let's go with you know what's going to happen to you since you failed. Where were you, like, now I want to say like now X is going to like clean up after you and tease the name out of them for who that is. Now, like, someone's going to have to clean up after you.
Mm-hmm. So you get the sense as you're talking to him that he doesn't know who is hired by. That he was done by cutouts, and so he's actually terrified because he doesn't know. He knows that it's somebody big, and he knows that it's going to come down on him.
Oh, dang. Okay, so even he is like a pawn kind of thing.
Yeah. So what's your second question? And feel free to consult with the group.
Where were they gonna take these girls to?
So he was supposed to deliver it. Essentially, he was going to drive the truck out to a location sort of in the industrial area and leave it there. And the sense was that the person he was supposed to deliver it to, that the boss guy was going to call them and tell them where it was to pick it up. That he doesn't know exactly where they were going to take it or anything, but he does know the name.
Okay.
Okay, and he knows the name of the guy who essentially was supposed to receive it, and that name is Victor Chang.
Okay. And then like after he like says those things, I think like I start laughing, and that's when he starts like realizing that he's not talking to the same thing, and then there's like a fist that just comes at the camera and like knocks him out.
Okay.
Kind of thing.
All right. So information has been gathered. Bad guys have been strategically arranged. Dead bodies have been moved off to the side, so they're not the first thing anybody sees.
Yeah.
And you've gotten various tarps and blankets for these people. Anything else you guys want to do before you head out from this scene?
I wanted to MIB these people so that their recollection of events is that all these guys are all bad guys that attacked each other, and we weren't there.
Okay.
So it was multiple crews up against each other.
Yeah.
Okay. I think that's an interesting thing. Let's have you roll convince, since you're trying to convince them of something with your hypnotic powers here.
Okay.
Does that seem reasonable?
Yeah.
And we'll see how well that goes.
Okay. So it's just +1, right?
Well, what do you have that's your hypnotic trance and hypnotic suggestion, right?
Yeah.
So let's say 2.
12.
Oh,
How come
yeah.
the dice aren't showing up this time too? Isn't that weird?
Yeah, it does that for me sometimes with Dice Stream. Let me see if mine actually show up. Nope, mine don't.
Just see. Hangouts is just twitchy tonight.
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I hate that. I had it for a while where Dice Stream worked for me, and then it stopped.
Yep.
So, yeah, they are tired, stressed out, and eminently susceptible to suggestion.
Okay, yeah, so we'll say like these people were fighting against each other, and they're the ones that would have like like a fight broke up amongst each other. They fought each other, and then we saved them from these guys. We weren't the ones that like killed them outright, basically.
Fair enough.
Because I think we won't be able to get out of it completely because the silver bullets, right?
Certainly, they will associate it with the Silver Slug Slayer.
Yeah, so we'll just say like the best possible light.
Mind you, the Silver Slugs are probably buried in walls a mile away, but so...
Yeah, so we'll just say like we saved them from each other and had to defend the girls.
They have a mental...
we didn't just come in and blow them up.
Yeah. Speaking of the Silver Slug Slayer, when you guys are done with this scene, and where do you think we head now, Excalibur?
Like, where do we go from here?
Yeah. Do you guys have a pad, a base, a spot that you go to regroup, a mystery van? What is it that is your modus operandi now?
I mean, I don't know. What do you guys think? Where do we hang out all the time?
Avengers Tower, except it's a big E, or what?
I think we probably hang out at Excalibur's place of residence because it is large enough and comfortable enough. Clinton technically has a business place that he's rarely in. Wants you to go in and accidentally knock over something and release the 9 demon spirits. So he'd rather we went to your place.
And you wouldn't want to hang out in the back streets and the alleys and the sewers that I hang out in. So
yeah, but I don't think that Excalibur thinks you're good enough to be at her place. So.
I think you probably have. No, it's probably good idea to kind of have that separation of.
Yeah, I think
team and your safe space.
As part of my fundraiser, I like bankroll this office building where like all these offices are, and one of the floors is an empty floor, and that's our place. That's our pad.
Okay.
Sounds
Nice.
good.
And you have like a parking garage with a private elevator that goes up there.
Yeah.
Classic pulp style.
Totes.
So you will return there. So I'm going to ask Excalibur, and then I'm going to talk to Lestrange, since they haven't gone for a bit, and see what your next move is.
So what our next move is, where we go from here. We got to figure out who this Cabal guy is. Or if we know anything about him already, I don't know. You know, maybe it's a big enough name that we've heard it out there before, rumors and things like that. Yeah, I don't know.
Is that the lead you want to run down, or is there another lead you want to run down?
I mean, I think that's the lead that I want to run down, because I want to get cut to the quick, get justice.
Okay.
Cabal was providing the bodies for.
Right.
What?
Yeah, Cabal, what you know is Cabal was apparently the person at the top who was providing these bodies, getting them moved into the hands of this Victor Chang.
Yeah. So I want to run at the Cabal angle.
Okay. So let me kind of define.
If we know anything about him. If this is the first time we've ever heard his name, then I'd play the Chang angle.
This is it's a mythic name. It's a spooky name around.
Okay.
So if you want to do the Chang angle, you can roll on that.
So are we thinking maybe Cabal's when something bad happens, people associate it with Cabal, whether it was or not.
Yeah,
he's like a Kaiser Soze kind of figure.
Yeah. Exactly.
Yeah.
He is the Kaiser Soze of the Mythos set.
Yeah, if that's the case, then like we're not gonna be able to figure anything out unless we can catch some of his lieutenants. And it sounds like Chang might be one of his lieutenants.
Okay.
Maybe someone should look beyond the mist. You can feel the truth behind things without even knowing how.
Well, what do you want to do, Excalibur? What do you want to investigate? A couple of options on the table for you.
Yeah, so we'll try and figure out something about Chang. And I'm a certified accountant, and and I've got family friends in high places, so I just like.
And can those manifests have give you a hand with this? Maybe help with the pattern of this stuff getting passed along.
Sure, that sounds interesting. Yeah, how about that? We'll throw it in as a +1. How about?
Okay.
So that'll give you 3. Is that reasonable for you?
Yeah, that's 3. We'll roll with that.
Okay.
What move am I triggering?
Yeah, I think this is investigate.
Okay, so I got a 9.
Okay. So you're still going to get 2 questions, but you get to choose one of those things.
I get to choose what the damaging element is.
Let's see.
No, it says they can also choose. So I think you choose.
Yeah. So I choose. Okay. Well then, tell me what your 2 questions are.
So I can fun with you.
It's just however I want to ask the question.
Yeah,
right?
and I'll ask you. Okay. Well, how are you finding that out? That kind of thing.
Yeah. So where can Chang be found a reasonable amount of the time?
Okay. So one of the things is that when you kind of run down Victor Chang and things like that, he doesn't show up on your usual like radar, not in the big books and things like that. And the one thing you will find is there is a Victor Chang who attends high school. He's a high school senior. And it's weird. He seems to have been moving and shaking, like doing things of late that have made enough noise that he just barely gets onto the radar. But he's not. I mean, he's a high school kid.
Okay.
So he can usually be found at a high school.
Okay. And we know which high school.
Yes, it is the same high school, of course, that Gwendolyn attends.
Of course.
Oh yeah.
All right.
What's your second question?
And my second question is, sorry about that. What's Chang getting up to with moving these folks?
Chang seems to be involved with a like some kind of group of teens. Like he's organizing them. I don't want to say a cult, but he's certainly pulling kids in, and he does seem to be kind of amassing contacts and things like that. But maybe indiscriminately, and perhaps he just needs more bodies for whatever he's doing. Does that seem like a fair enough answer?
He's just gathering people.
Yeah.
And it's very unclear what he's gathering them for.
That's correct.
It's the first episode of Buffy.
Like, he's gathering live people.
Yeah.
Okay.
Like, it's pretty clear that he's influential in his high school, and there's kind of a set of sort of emo people that circulate around him, and the bits and pieces that you pick up are that he's been gathering more and more sort of people, cycling them into his circle.
Okay. Gotcha.
Declan? Let's talk to you. What do you want to do?
That thing. So we're not doing a downtime thing right now, right? We're just doing.
No, I think this is investigation. I would say downtime is if we had like a few days of a break, or if we were between sessions.
Yep. Okay. So I think we know where he is and we know what he's collecting, but we don't really know why he's collecting it.
That's correct.
So I think that my impulse is to try and find out more about that from various contacts, but I don't think contacts are going to have anything. So I think what actually happens.
Of course they do. It's a noir thing. It's a mystery. People know things.
I think I can point you in the direction of some media contacts.
Well, I have business connections and smuggling contacts. So
yeah, you probably have better contacts than I do.
Yeah. So I think that there's a combination of things going on here. Declan's trying to sort out why you would need these people without any real technology, like what you could possibly be trying to accomplish.
What's in his background? What's in his thing that they could use that for, or more generally?
Yeah. I think looking specifically at what with this kid he could be doing, like where the puzzle pieces fit together. And to do this, I think it's a combination of it kind of depends on what's in the background. So I'm going to go with business connections.
Okay.
But the other thing is actually going to be premonitions. Like there's points where Declan is just like picks up his Rolodex. He still has like one of those old crappy Rolodexes, and he just like flip, grab, and give that a shot.
All right. Let's have you make that investigate roll.
All right. And I'm debating if I wanted to tag no conscious control of dreams, but I don't think I do actually.
Okay.
So, and that is a 13.
All right. So you are in the clear. What I'm going to do is your first question, I'm going to tell you some information, core clue style from Gumshoe. All right. So one of the things you will find in Victor Chang's background is that he went missing a couple of months ago. And that he vanished for a few days. And like came back maybe about a week later after he vanished. And it was around that time that a shady company, a shady genetics company went up, like the building went up in flames. And there's a weird parallel there for you, like the time and dates there of this global genetics place burning to the ground. So that'll be your first answer to your first question.
Okay.
What's your second question?
See, I opened up the sheet so I could look at it and be like, what would my say? Oh, right, it's not listed.
Yeah.
You know, one of the things is there's a freedom to that, but there's also I like a good tuned set of questions for investigation things.
Yeah. No, I mean, even when I think of some, I still tend to reach back to ones that are just derivatives of the Apocalypse World ones.
I think that's fair.
Yeah. All right, so
how could I get X?
yeah. I think where I'm going to go with that is actually to find out more about the genetics company.
So what's the deal with global genetics is your question?
Yep.
Okay.
Yep.
Business contacts helps you a lot in this because you will take a look through and very quickly see that global genetics is a dummy company for a higher level corporation called Helix Labs. And they've been involved in some shady shit. But in particular, global genetics, their most recent program is they had a building set up and they were doing essentially blood test work. They had a contract for that on all the high schools in the city. And essentially they were doing that for a health and immunization program.
Did you give blood for that, Gwendolyn?
Maybe I hadn't fallen to this world yet.
That
Maybe
makes
I'm
sense.
just a new student.
Mitosis, let's come to you.
What you doing?
Okay. I'm not too sure what mitosis would be up to. I would say mitosis kind of leaves a lot of the brain work to Lestrange and the others.
Okay. Are you resting and recovering and clearing that injury wound?
That's what I would kind of think.
Okay. We don't have very good rules for healing. It looks like you would use the change the game roll for that, but let's not worry about that. But it seems to me that you can sit. What does it look like when you heal up?
Okay, so I think so if I get injured, so like cuts and scrapes and all that, they probably look a lot worse in this transition as they're kind of finding how the cells should start connecting back up again. So you would see like a cut instead of just, you know how on a lot of shows or whatever, you'll see the magical, the seam just goes away. Well, it doesn't do that. It's like little fingery things trying to kind of reach to close and knit back together. It just like it's trying to find out what it is again.
Oh, so you're running the thing. All right. No, I like that.
More or less. Yeah, I hadn't thought of that.
That's very cool. And you'll sit and flex and get that taken care of. What about you, Gwendolyn?
I think same thing because I'm injured. I have healing touch as a power tag.
Mm-hmm.
So it looks like. So maybe I'm like, oh yeah, maybe I like go to the fancy bathroom kind of thing and I take off my special suit thing, and then, you know, she's just sort of like trying to knit it back together with her powers.
What do your powers look like?
Healing touch. Maybe it would look like. Maybe it kind of looks like it erases what happened. Kind of
I
thing.
like that.
Yeah, because she's. It seems like she's from like another world, and this whole thing is like a facade. So it's just sort of like, yeah, erasing that it ever happened. It just sort of is like her hand on it, and then suddenly she takes it off, and there was just like a little bit of blood where it was seeping or whatever, and then other than that, nothing.
And that makes sense for someone who kind of leans more to the mystery than the logo side, that physicality is an illusion for you.
Mm-hmm.
All right, so all of you guys have kind of done some investigation stuff. I'm going to throw it open to the group as a whole here. What's the next step?
I have a question real quick.
Sure.
So does our adventure have a thing that we also have to mark? Because you referenced Gumshoe, and I see some things in the rules that seem to hint at that.
No, see, I'm just saying the reason I did Gumshoe is so that it seems to me that when you do an investigate move, it's good to give out the core clue.
Yeah, no, it was in my mind already, and I'm just wanting to be clear because there's a lot of marking things in clocks like and such like.
Yeah,
but no, it's fine.
The only clocks seem to be the attention, and then if you're breaking with your sort of animus, then you can take damage on your themes. Those seem to be the two big clocks, and then the other clocks are just for the conditions.
Yeah.
Well, I think our next move is actually probably Kitsune, seeing as how Kitsune goes to school with the villain. And
I have
infiltration
high school rumors, and then it looks like I have a best friend. Maybe my best friend is involved with this person, and I'm like super worried when I get out of the bathroom because I know that Jerry is involved with Victor, and so now, like, yeah, it seems like maybe Jerry's getting turned to the dark side or something like that, or something bad could happen to him.
Okay, so we want to maybe do a roll to see how much you know about this.
Yeah, for the high school rumors.
Let's do that.
Best
then.
friend, I think, is the only thing I would be able to. Yeah, high school rumors and best friend Jerry.
Okay.
Good old Jerry. I'm going to
put
say
Jerry in the line of fire, I will point out.
5, 6, 7, 8, 9.
Okay.
So there is a complication.
So you got a power of 2. You get 2 questions.
Maybe it's like a recollection thing, and I want to know where Victor and those guys like hang out with their club kind of thing that he's forming. maybe Jerry told me in passing or whatever, and he was like, hey, we all hang out at the juke bar, and I was like, that's boring, fuck off, kind of thing, right? But now it's like, whoa, big deal.
Well, okay. So they do, there is a club, and it is a creepy sort of emo club.
Oh, yeah.
And it's actually called the Infection Club.
Oh, shit. Okay, well, I think I call it Twisted.
And while you know that they meet at this coffee shop,
Mm-hmm.
you also know that Jerry told you that he was going for the initiation ritual.
Oh, God.
And that they were going to meet at this secret place out of this old junkyard. Apparently it's going to be all spooky and shit. And he was going to be cool because he was with the cool kids now.
Okay. What is our best way in unnoticed?
You actually think there are probably some back paths where it kind of meets up with some accessible things out of the line of sight and things where you could get to there and get over and not be spotted by lights or guard dogs or anything like that. Probably no guard dogs on site since it is an abandoned junkyard, but that's probably your clearest path. Seem reasonable?
Yeah. I text Jerry and I'm like, OMG, what are you doing? And it's like WATRU, like doing kind of thing.
And you'll get that thing where the text goes through and you wait for a reply.
Yeah.
And there's no reply.
Jerry down. So I'm probably like hysterical, and I'm like, oh my God, guys, we gotta go help out my friend Jerry. He's mixed up with these guys, and when he said he was doing an initiation thing, I thought it would be like, I watched Scream, and there's like those frat houses, and he's just doing something stupid. I didn't think it was gonna be something mixed up with like, mythic proportion type stuff. We've got to go save him.
And what does the rest of the group say to that?
They just blink at me.
I don't know. Do you tell us all this? Like,
yeah.
Okay. Totally. Yeah. I mean, I'm just gonna go down there and see what's up. Like, I'm a grown ass woman. Like, I can go to this place if I want to, and if they want to try and call me out on it, they're teenagers.
That's true.
Yeah,
Don't go shooting any kids.
Yeah.
So are we going to do a wipe cut to the junkyard then?
Yeah, let's do that.
Yep.
Okay.
I think for one reason or other, we're all supporting Gwendolyn. So
we do the wipe cut to the junkyard. We don't even know how you guys got there, but you have moved through the grounds a little bit. It's abandoned, rusty, nasty. Everything is made of sharp bits and tetanus, and you're kind of winding your way through that. And actually, I'm picturing this. There's a junkyard in the secret world that is a horrible, nasty, pointy maze. But you're moving along, and you can see that there is a relatively intact sort of garage building towards the middle of this labyrinth, and you can see that there are lights on in that, and all of you can feel that sort of crackle in the air that says to you that there's something definitively weird going on here.
Any kind of sound in that as we get close?
You actually kind of hear like a synchronized murmuring going on. So, what are we doing? How are we approaching this?
I want to sneak up on the source of the murmuring.
Okay.
There's a move for that.
Yes.
I was gonna say, does the garage look like it's got skylight, kind of anything like that? We can peer down in.
Sure, absolutely. Let's say there's a skylight on it. broken windows, sort of blackened and browned, but might be able to peer in through there. Would take a bit to get up to there. But let's start with Declan. Let's have you do this the sneak around. And rather than having everybody do the sneak around, Declan is doing the sneak around for the group.
Oh, hooray!
Nice.
Yeah.
So Declan, what are your sneak around abilities?
The ability is should have made Gwendolyn do it. No.
Okay. I was gonna say I can lend some aid. I've got I can grow extra limbs and increase muscle. I can lift you up the side of the thing up to.
I like that.
It's pretty good.
Let's just set that as a flat +1 rather than making another roll on top of the super risky sneak around roll.
Sure. I believe that I can make a call for smuggling coming into play here.
Yes.
I'm also actually going to use mysterious reality bending. So the way that ends up kind of looking is people are watching Declan crawl up, and then when he goes behind like a piece of junk, the piece of junk he comes out from is actually completely on the other side, and he's now going a different way, and actually his tie is now red instead of blue. So he's doing that while he's kind of staying low and using his smuggling self. And yeah, I think it's just going to be those two. I could make a call for premonitions or speed, but I don't think so.
No, let's have you make that roll.
All right. So it's +2 for my powers and +1 for mitosis, giving me a boost. Which sounds weird now that I've said it out loud.
Yes.
Why did that roll 3 dice? Weird. All right. So I rolled a 5 and a 6, and then plus those 3 would be a 14. For some reason, it rolled rolled a third dice, but I'd still be over 10.
Okay. So you've boosted him up, and he is up on that roof and is able to look down. I'm just going to ask positional-wise, where are Gwendolyn and Excalibur when that's happening?
Yeah, maybe like I'll be with them. Like maybe we get the camera shot of like everyone looking over like down the skylight if Excalibur wants to be there.
Excalibur?
I think I'm just waiting on the ground. Like my whole plan in this is like this is teenagers, and if they're just doing teenager shit, like tell me. And if that's the case, I'm just gonna go in and like bust it up and grab this Chang kid.
Nice. They're all like chanting and shit, and you just walk up and like slap them.
Yeah, but like if like we all felt the crackle, like something weird's going on here. So right. I want the nod from you guys, like, yeah, just go in there before I do that.
Sure. And then we could be like the backup on the skylight kind of thing.
Yeah.
So here's what you see. It's a pretty big, garage. You can see that there are some high school students, and they've got some people by the arms, and they're kind of holding them down, including Jerry. And they've kind of got them held, and you'll see amongst them kind of holding people down seems to be this Victor Chang. And then you'll see what more draws your attention is the globe of people kind of holding each other's limbs locked. And it's this weird kind of globe mass of almost like a gymnastics thing, if they're kind of moving as one, and it looks like there's somebody in the center of that. Like that's a kind of a dome of people that they've got. And they kind of move forward, and one of the hands of one of the people extends out and touches one of these people that's held down, and there's kind of a purplish ooze that comes out of the hand, like from under the fingernails, and goes into this person's mouth. So,
Lowell,
what do you want to do?
you're messed up. You're a messed up dude, Lowell. I'm just gonna throw that out there.
Fair enough.
Right. I think the important thing here is don't let that goo get on you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So we have Chang separate, we have the giant globe, and we have a whole lot of people who don't know they're about to be absorbed into a giant
Ball.
mass of ball.
They know it's a bad, and they're probably struggling because they've seen that this has all gone wrong for them.
Yeah, no joke. I think we probably are going to have to leap into action here.
Okay.
Yeah. I need to save Jerry.
Yep.
All right. So let's do the people on the rooftop, and then we'll come down to Excalibur. So Kitsune, Gwendolyn, you have the most at stake here. What do you do?
Yeah, like I think that she gets really reckless, and seeing that she just like has her sword in her hand and she crushes it down on the skylight and then spirals down to like drop on the guys that have Jerry specifically to try to take them out.
That seems like an outrageously stupid feat. So let's have you tell me what are the power tags that you're hitting with that?
Probably just nimble as a fox and makeshift katana. I don't think parkour would come into play because there's not really like she's just jumping down, right? Like
that seems fair. Let's have you make that roll as you take the risk. I spoke the name of the move. Sorry.
Oh, okay, that works.
Okay.
9 is 11.
Oh, nice. So tell me what that looks like when you get him out of that.
I think that, maybe her recklessness, she didn't put on the mask yet. And she like comes down on these guys, crushes one on the back with the two feet coming down on him. And then the other one, she does like a jump kick and her leg flies out and like hits the kid in the face and he goes spiraling out of the way. And then she grabs Jerry and like starts moving him towards the exit. And then the downside is that Jerry is like, knows that it's me.
He's also screaming. He's screaming in terror right now. So tell me, Mitosis, what are you doing?
The typical mitosis thing of just big jump through the window and down onto the floor below. Big huge crush, shake the floor.
All right.
You need a tagline.
I'm gonna kind of position myself between this globe of bodies and the victims, if I can.
Okay. All right. So you're going to try and protect the victims. So I think right now you're trying to put yourself in the way of the danger as this sort of infective, viral mass comes pouring towards you.
Okay.
So what do you think is your appropriate tags for resisting that?
Okay, so I think I can grow some bone armor.
Oh, perfect.
Shield myself a little bit and instant muscle building for bulking up, and I would say probably huge.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm just getting in the way.
Okay, I am going to say this is a viral thing. It seems to be expanding and moving, and in some ways, your own body is kind of moving in sympathy. So I am going to give you a weakness tag of your struggles to retain growth.
Okay.
Restrain growth. Okay.
Yep.
So you'll be rolling with a +2.
+2. Okay. Okay, so 8, 9. Yep.
8, 9. All right. So you will protect them. But when you do that, you push them back. There are several kids there. You're able to get them out of the way. But one of them kind of reaches up and they touch your skin with this, and the blue goo just kind of comes out, and you feel it go in, and now it's like a bruise under your skin, and you take the condition Infected 2.
Okay.
And you can feel it whispering to you, like telling you, now you need to stop. You need to stop. Let it be. Just let it be. It'll be okay. That's what you'll hear.
Okay.
Lestrange.
Well, that's exciting. So we have theoretically somewhere in the center, we have a form, right?
Yes, it looks like
That
there is a
can be
person
seen.
in the center. Yep.
All right. So what Lestrange is going to do, is he is from the rooftop going to line up his shot and wait for the perfect moment where the bodies have just made that tiny enough hole where he can see that person in the center. And so he's doing the inhale, exhale. When all the air is out, he finds that perfect moment, and that is when he is shooting. So he's aiming for
Okay.
the center.
Then let's have you hit it with all you got. Tell me what your tags are for that.
Well, the easy ones are a good shot and gunslinging.
Perfect.
Gunslinging stunts, rather. Because I'm pretty sure this counts as a gunslinging stunt.
Absolutely.
I'm not really sticking the person to anything, so I don't actually think that the ammo really comes into play. However, I am pretty sure that I am using my living in a dream tags.
Okay. Because this is freaky. Yeah.
Because this is freaky, yes.
Yeah.
And I think what we're going to be using there is the probably the premonitions out of those. Just because that's more fun for me. So
Okay.
there we go.
That sounds perfect.
All right.
Let's have you roll.
So
that's power 4, right?
if we can throw in mysterious reality bending.
Yeah, that's power
But-
4.
All right, so that'll actually put me at an 11.
Okay.
So I think the camera follows the bullet as it passes through all the bodies and in towards the center.
Does it miss the high school students?
Oh, hell yeah, it misses the high
Okay,
school stuff.
okay.
That was the whole point.
And there will be a reverberation from the bodies. Some of them will fall off, kind of collapse, and you will see you've hit sort of almost sort of dead center of the mass of this high school girl. She looks a lot like Chang, like maybe this is his twin sister. And it will hit, and she'll take that, and she'll take a step back, and she looks up at you.
She'll give me the Akira look.
Yes. All right. Let's hear it for Excalibur.
So I think that the situation has been communicated to me.
Yeah.
They were watching for a while, maybe before we acted, and I'm underneath. I'm in the floor below, and I'm like trying to see if I can tell where that circle's moving. And I've got my bracelet, but it's like it's expanded. It's about 4, maybe 3 feet across right now, and it's got these lump things that are on them. They're like sticky, and I'm like placing them on the ceiling, and you know what's about to happen?
Yes, I do, actually.
Yeah.
So you're going to ignite the silver-based limpet mines underneath here? Is that what I'm hearing?
Yeah, I'm going to try and use these door breaching or these wall breaching elements to try
me
and
ask
drop the floor out from underneath.
Let me
Whoever's
ask
in the
a
center.
question. Do you give a shit about the high school kids who are around?
Yes, I do. I do care about children,
Okay.
especially when they seem to be victimized.
All right. So let us then have you tell me about your power tags on this one.
Yeah. So this is can transform into any weapon, and it's indestructible, which is important. It's not going to come apart after it blows up. And I think that's it.
Okay. Well, you know what? You had to crawl underneath here to get to this, right?
Yeah.
You're an old woman. So how about those sore joints?
Yeah, that's a pain. It's a pain crawling under here.
Yep. So that will be rolling with a power 2, but a +1. Now, mind you, one of the things you can do if you do badly is you can burn a tag. When you burn a tag, essentially the effect is that you got a 10+, and you do a power 4 thing. But you can do that after you roll.
Okay. Oh, it's no problem. I got an 11.
Yeah, good thing our dice stream loves us today.
Yes, it does. You guys are... I hate that. So what are your 2 picks?
What move was I doing?
You're doing the hit it with all you got. I assume one of them is no collateral damage.
Yeah, no collateral damage, and I hit him good. Like that floor underneath the person in the middle like completely drops out, and they had no idea or whatever. However you want to narrate it, I suppose.
So it goes up. You guys are there. The bodies have come forward. You're like whatever, and then suddenly everything and people go flying. Kung fu jump off the paddle thing, the Rambo explosion behind them, and they go flying every which way. Crashing. Of course, none of them hurt because it's a dramatic thing.
Yeah, I mean, the idea was like I was dropping the floor out from underneath just the one in the middle. And they all scattered.
They kind of fall from the force of that. You did it bigger, and this high school girl drops down, but before you can kind of get out of the way, she shoves her hand into your face, and you will feel this liquid go up into your nose and in through your eyes, and you will take an infected 2 condition.
Okay.
So let's come back around to Gwendolyn.
I think I'm just trying to get him out of this area and tell him to basically run, and then I'll like turn back and see what needs to be done after, kind of thing.
So perfect. So essentially you grab him and some of the other innocents and that are clearly not infected and move them out to safety.
Yeah.
Okay. And Jerry kind of stops. He maybe thinks he saw who it was, but then he runs.
Yeah, totally. He'll remember tomorrow morning.
Maybe till you hypnotize him.
Yeah.
Mitosis.
Okay, so you're grabbing the innocents and taking them out or leading them that way. I'm going to I would say I'm gonna dismantle this dome.
Okay, so you're essentially trying to
detangle
restrain this mass of infected teenagers.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, let's have you go toe to toe.
Okay.
What do you think is your appropriate power tags for this?
Okay, I would say I am definitely filled with rage.
Okay.
I can probably also lean on can grow extra limbs, and I am still pretty huge.
Awesome.
So I'm coming in at it, and I think an extra limb or 2 to kind of leverage between a couple more than just 1 or 2.
So that's a power 3. Let's have you roll.
Okay. 5, 6, 7, 8. 8.
Okay, so you do power 3 essentially. If you want to do you can break them apart, you can inflict a restrained status on them, or you can avoid getting damaged in this. Or you can burn a tag to push it up.
Okay, so what's the burner tag? How's that
Essentially, you
work?
choose one of your power tags that you used, and essentially you push it but beyond the limit and burn it out. So for this particular mystery, you would no longer have access to it.
I think I will do that. I kind of stretched myself with the extra limbs.
Perfect. So you get to pick 2 of those things then on that toe-to-toe list.
Okay. I reached my goal.
Okay.
So I'm able to kind of pull them apart. I think I also block, dodge, or counter.
Okay, because they are certainly.
Yeah, I don't want to get more infected. So I'm pulling them apart, but I'm kind of avoiding anywhere that goo can kind of.
Perfect. So you're pushing them, holding them. They're still pressing on you, but they are broken apart. So the mass of them is reduced because they are pushed in that way. Lestrange.
Hi there.
What do you want to do?
So they're starting to break apart, but they're not broken apart yet. Yeah.
Yeah, he's got them actually. They are sort of individuals now. He's got that whole wall of them broken apart. They are clearly coordinated. I mean, like the infection.
Maybe a mass. It's just not a dome anymore.
Right.
Yeah.
And there's a hole, and clearly the trigger, the center woman of that has fallen down, and you're guessing from the explosion in the silver that your compadre Excalibur is below.
Okay. So, do I have a clear shot then at the sister Chang?
I would say that to do that, you'd have to kind of drop down in here. It'd be a risky thing. Okay.
Whatever. I live for danger.
All right. Then let's have you roll essentially to avoid like really hurting yourself as you drop down.
Yeah.
What do you think is appropriate for that?
Well, I think that one of them is actually gunslinging stunts because what I'm doing is I'm shooting on the way down because that's how I roll.
Okay.
But I actually think that the other thing is mysterious reality bending. Like when I actually hit the ground for a moment, it acts a bit like rubber, and the whole ground. It's not like it's just the earth. It's as if someone used Photoshop and made the whole thing kind of go, and then it bounces back a little.
Perfect. Roll 2.
All right. Let's see how that goes. Declan Lestrange. He is Lestrange. I rolled an 11 plus 2 is 13.
Oh yeah, you are fine. And you want to shoot when you roll over to the edge of that?
Yeah.
Okay. And
pew, pew, pew.
Let's have you do your shots into this.
Okay.
I love
Yeah, I think on this one I actually am using the adhesive ammo though, because I am trying to stick her to a wall or heavy surface.
Okay. So are you trying to set up Excalibur, or are you trying to restrain her?
The thing is, I think Excalibur might actually kill her.
That's probably a good bet.
And I kind of want, answers, and she's still a teenager, even if stuff has gone wrong. So I'm going for restraint.
Okay.
Yeah.
Let us have you roll that.
Yeah. I'm using all 3 of my gunfighting tags,
Roll with the
which is
plus
good
3.
because I rolled pretty crappy. So I only actually got an 8.
Okay, so what is your pick?
Yeah. Man, I've done so well not being hit by anyone. I think that in this case, my pick is probably to hold my target's attention, if possible.
Okay, and
So
you kind of come over. She's landed there. Excalibur's kind of pulling back. You boom, boom. The things hit her, kind of glue her to a post there, and her head kind of twists around about 80 degrees, and there is that spray of blue into your mouth. Okay.
Creepy.
And it's all, right in your face there, and you will take an infected 2 condition.
Oh, Excalibur! I changed my mind.
Excalibur, what are you doing?
Yeah, so it pans back to me, and you see me with a giant silver sledgehammer.
In the head?
Hell yeah.
Oh, shit.
All right, tell me your stuff. You just need to not botch this. Hit it with all you got, sir.
Yeah.
Though a botch would be awesome.
Yeah, so we're going to say any weapon, of course. It's indestructible. That's nice. And tough as nails. I'm swinging this.
Okay, yeah, we established that as one of your things earlier.
Yeah. All right.
Let's see the roll with a +2.
What? That was 3. Are you minusing me for something?
No, sorry. No, +3. You're right. Sorry. Miscounted.
High school student down.
Okay, so I'm looking at 6, but I have a juice from earlier.
That you do. Push that over the edge. So what's your pick on the hit it with all you've got?
There's no collateral damage, and I mean that in every sense. Like, I was not intending to kill her with this. And I also don't want either of us to get hit with any more infection. I was just very aggressively knocking her out, like you do in comic books sometimes.
Absolutely, and there is that thing, and of course the camera shot from Lestrange's view is it looks like she's just brought this sledgehammer down and murdered this girl.
Oh,
But
yeah.
when it comes back up, it's very clear that she is unconscious, and you guys will move. Her unconsciousness seems to have broken sort of the mental hold on these kids. You can tell that, much like you, they have some kind of infection she's able to control through. You'll have to kind of restrain and sedate her and get her locked down until you can find someone that can deal with this particular gateway. She is essentially a plague bearer, a pestilence that has a viral network. And the kids, when they come to, they will scatter to the four winds.
What about Victor? Is he around?
Yeah, he's there. He's unconscious. It looks like he was a victim as well. Perhaps the front face, since you knew he was the more popular one, this twin sister less popular.
Right.
So I think that's where we're going to stop for tonight. Is that okay? And we'll maybe do a little bit of epilogue next time and do another case. Seem cool?
Yeah.
Yep.
Yep, for sure.
All right.
Bye.
All right. So I am going to stop the broadcast.